Hi everyone, my name is Ayush and I react to different stuffs on YouTube. And this time we have a different video. It's a history around Canada, and this video has been, in my bucket list since Canada is actually one of the places that I want to visit someday. Maybe I will. And as an Asian, like I've seen many people going there for the studies, and yeah, I would also love to visit Canada someday. And I have, like, from my friends, from what I've heard from them, Canada is a really good place to be in, mainly due to its people. They are super friendly, and mm, and the weather, like, it's kind of cold, I guess. Like, from where my friends are, like, the snowy reason, they like snows everywhere when they used to show me. So I have no clue if whole Canada is like that, or like it's just a few places. But this video is titled, wait, let me show you. It's called the Canada History, Timeline and Animation in 5 minutes. I'm not sure if I can grasp everything in 5 minutes, but I will try my best. And since there is, like, a global, tariffs has been hitting through USA, and Canada is not an exception, I guess. Canada has also, like, faced a huge tariffs from America. I would also love to know how good is the relation between America and Canada, as they are, like, two of the countries which are, like, you know they have this huge boundaries from this to, like, from one end to the other. So I would love to know that as well. um, yeah, no, I'm not an American guy, but I would love to know about that as well. Like, the current situation the Canada is in. So for, like, without any delay, let's just jump in. Let's start the video titled Canada History, Timeline and Animation in 5 minutes. 3, 2, 1, let's go.
The second largest country in the world occupies most of the northern part of North America, covering the vast land area from the United States in the south to the Arctic Circle in the north.
So Canada is actually bigger than United States of America in area. Like, it looks like that. If you see here, like, the United States is this part, and I think this part as well. But Canada is such a huge, like, it is, like, going to, like, it's quite near to the Greenland.
It is a country of enormous distances and rich natural resources. Indigenous people lived in what is now Canada for thousands of years before the first Europeans arrived. They are known as the First Nations and the Inuit people. The first
Like, from what I have seen, like, I mostly saw Canada through video calls through my friends, and it's the perfect blend of nature, and the development is, like, development as well. You know, from what they had shown me, it didn't have, like, quite high buildings and all that kind of thing. Maybe it's in the city areas, but what they showed me, like, it's the perfect blend. There are nature, like, there's forest everywhere, like forest and all that kind of thing, and that perfect blend. I'm not sure if that's the case over all the regions, but I think that, seeing it from the video call, I thought that it's quite good in terms of nature.
European people to
Let's see.
come to Canada arrived between 15,000 and 30,000 years ago across a land bridge that joined Asia and North America. Around 1000 AD, the Viking explorer Leif Erikson reached Newfoundland, Canada. He tried to establish a settlement, but it didn't last. In the early 16th century, Europeans started exploring Canada's eastern coast, beginning with John Cabot from England. Between 1534 and 1542, Jacques Cartier made 3 voyages across the Atlantic, claiming the land for King Francis I of France. Cartier had 2 captured guides speak the Iroquoian word Kanata, meaning village. By the 15th,
Okay, so is it Kanata or Katana? Because here
had 2
it says, he says that it's Kanata, but it's written Katana.
captured guides speak the Iroquoian word Kanata, meaning village. By the 1550s, the name of Canada began appearing on maps. Parts of Canada were settled by France and parts by Great Britain.
Mm-hmm.
In 1605, Port Royal was built in Acadia by the French, led by Samuel de Champlain, and 3 years later, he started settling Quebec. The French and Aboriginal people collaborated in the vast fur trade economy, driven by the demand for beaver pelts in Europe. Outstanding leaders like Jean Talon, Bishop Laval, and Count Frontenac built a French empire in North America that reached from Hudson Bay to the Gulf of Mexico. In the 1700s, France and Great Britain battled for control of North America. In 1759, the British defeated the French in the Battle of the Plains of Abraham at Quebec City, marking the end of France's empire in America. The command
Britain was quite powerful back then. Maybe that is why there's a lot of French, like Britain influence in Canada. I think, while I was reacting to the Britain, the difference between United Kingdom and like the Great Britain and England video, I had read it that it was a realm, like a part of Commonwealth. Let me just search. All right, Commonwealth realm countries. Canada is also a part of Commonwealth realm. That means there is some influence of like the king and the queen in Canada from the United Kingdom. Maybe this is the reason why.
commanders of both armies, Brigadier James Wolfe and the Marquis de Montcalm, were killed leading their troops in battle. Following the war, Great Britain renamed the colony the Province of Quebec. The French-speaking Catholic people, known as habitants or Canadians, strove to preserve their way of life in the English-speaking, Protestant-ruled British Empire. After the American Revolutionary War, many people in the new United States wanted to stay loyal to Britain. Thousands came north to Canada and settled in Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, Quebec, and Ontario. During the War of 18...
Okay, so Quebec is actually also the name of the place in the Canada, I believe. Let's search for that as well. Yeah, it's actually a city right now. But previously it was called the province of Quebec.
Catholic people, known as habitants or Canadians, strove to preserve their...
Why is there a lot of spelling mistake? There's called Canadians. Isn't there supposed to be A here? Not sure.
way of life in the English-speaking, Protestant-ruled British Empire. After the American Revolutionary War, many people in the new United States wanted to stay loyal to Britain. Thousands came north to Canada and settled in Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, Quebec, and Ontario. During the War of 1812, the United States tried to conquer Canada but were defeated. In 1867, the province of Canada was joined by two other British colonies of New Brunswick and Nova Scotia through Confederation, forming a self-governing entity named Canada. Canadian soldiers fought in World War I for the British Empire. More Canadians died in this war than any other war. Canada became better known as a country after its success in the capturing of Vimy Ridge from the Germans in France in 1917. Women were given the right to vote by the end of the war, partly because of the help they gave making weapons while the men fought in Europe. In 1931, Canada became fully independent. Then the Government of Canada made all decisions about Canada. The British Parliament passed the Statute of Westminster in 1931, which acknowledged Canada as a co-equal with the United Kingdom and the other Commonwealth realms. It was a crucial step in the development of Canada as a separate state in that it provided for nearly complete legislative autonomy from the Parliament of the United Kingdom. The Canadian economy boomed during World War II as its industries manufactured military material for Canada, Britain, China, and the Soviet Union.
Nice.
Despite another conscription crisis in Quebec in 1944, Canada finished the war with a large army and strong economy. In the 1960s, the Quiet Revolution took place in Quebec, overthrowing the old establishment which centered on the Roman Catholic Archdiocese of Quebec and led to modernizing of the economy. In the same period, Canada adopted the maple leaf flag, although not without considerable debate and misgivings among large number of English-Canadian society. In 1981, the Canadian House of Commons and Senate passed a resolution requesting that the British Parliament enact a package of constitutional amendments which would end the last powers of the British Parliament to legislate for Canada and would create an entirely Canadian process for constitutional amendments. Canada's capital is Ottawa, and its three largest metropolitan areas are Toronto, Montreal, and Vancouver. Canada is sparsely populated, the majority of its land area being dominated by forest and tundra.
True. I knew this was the thing. the Canada's most area is actually covered by forest, because that's actually like, visible if you even see this like areas, you see a lot of forest there. And I was right. I would love to visit Canada someday, but let's just watch this entire video.
Tundra.
Tell you guys.
Consequently, its population is highly urbanized, with over 80% of its inhabitants concentrated in large areas and medium-sized cities, many near the southern border. Thank you for watching. Please check out our other animated history shows, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
Okay, so that was the video, and it's pretty interesting to see all this
Montreal.
history around Canada, but it's quite sad as well. Like most of the population, I think it's centered over this yellowish region, mostly because there's a lot of like forest around here, and these parts. I think it's quite cold there, mainly due to its like it lies at the northern part. Maybe that's the reason why. But Vancouver and
Consequently,
the main places like Vancouver, Ottawa. Ottawa, I think, is the capital. Yeah, it's the capital of Canada. I mean, it looks quite developed. Like it's not a typical place. See, like it's quite developed. I said that it does not have high buildings, but seeing this, I think it does. It does a lot have high buildings, but especially in the main city areas. But this is quite interesting. They like the resolution that the British Parliament had to pass, which is, I think, a good thing. Like Canada has been independent for many years now, and having a country with its entire legislature and entire legislative activities, without having the influence of other countries, that is a good thing for a country as well. And yeah, that was a pretty interesting history, to be honest. One thing I have to ask you guys, like Columbus is famous in America.
Asia and North
uh
America. Around 1000 AD, the Viking explorer.
yep, is Viking as famous as Columbus? Like, can we see that Viking actually discovered Canada, like Columbus discovered uh, America? Can we tell Viking discovered Canada? Like, what is there in like what as a Canadian, if you are watching this video, like, is this true? Like everything in this video, is it true? I can't like trust a video like totally, right? So if any misinformation, if there is any misinformation, do let me know in the comments. If you guys want to tell me more about Viking, I would love to know. Like uh, you know uh, this was quite interesting, I guess. Um, and mainly, I think the revolution actually helped a woman. um, the World War II, I guess. After the World War II, people like women were allowed to vote. I think war had a good aspect as well, and that was one of them. Like women can have equal rights as men. I don't think it was the same case before the war, but during the war, I think women like showed equal importance like men have, and maybe that helped. Yeah, I there is a weird situation right now, like Trump's having tariffs all over the place, in the Canada as well. And I don't think Canada backfired. I'm not sure around that, but I would love to know what's the situation there. Mostly because I think mainly the trade is happening in Canada is through importing all the stuffs in through USA. So is like things getting expensive. I would love to know around that as well. I think that is it for this video. I would love to see other recommendations from you guys. I would love to know what you guys think of this video. If you like my reaction, if you want me to change anything, yeah, that was it. I have a very few knowledge in these things, but I'm looking to expand my horizons. So that is why I'm here. So yeah, till right now I have one subscriber in my channel, on my channel. So if you are new here and if you have watched this video till this part, do subscribe guys, do subscribe. I will see you in the next one. Bye.